With all that's going on recently and ongoing, how are you doing? How are you holding up? What are you doing to stay stress-free? Any post-COVID goals? Story 1. Had an amazing summer. It really felt like my wife and I were great. We did loads around the house and garden, spent time with the kids, and I actually felt guilty when people were saying how tough it had been because of how good the few months off work had been. Went back at the end of July, though, and it seems like life unraveled since. Beginning of September, it turns out my wife went on antidepressants and didn't say anything about it to me for 3 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I lost my job. 3 days later, my wife told me she wanted to end our marriage and had started to look at getting her own place. So yeah, rock bottom hit me hard. I don't quit easily, though, and I knew I had a strong curriculum vitae, so I applied for many jobs, had an interview yesterday, was offered the role today, and start tomorrow. More money, too. Now I just need to get by on a daily basis until she leaves, and then I have to readjust to only having the kids 50-50 instead of every day. Story 2. Work would be better if I wasn't losing so many clients to COVID-19, both due to death and business shutdowns. Life isn't bad. My daughter got into medical school. My wife is still attractive. Post-COVID-19 goals are to start going back to the gym. Story 3. COVID has been kind to me financially and has meant I can spend more time with my wife and son. As a drinker, though, it has crushed me, and my mental health is in tatters. I really need to sort my situation out. Positively, I've managed to record an album, and I'm proud of myself for that. I hope you all are coping. Story 4. Work's tough. Life is so hard at the moment. Feel like crying every day, but I guess that's life. Gotta be okay with not being okay, I suppose. Story 5. Laugh out loud. Every time I answer these things, people downvote because they would rather just read a bunch of miserable answers. This pandemic has been great for me. During the summer lockdown, I got to stay home with my daughter. It was a hot summer and we chilled in the pool a lot. I went back to work, and it was like nothing happened, with lots of work coming in and lots going out. All in all, work and life have been pretty stress-free, all things considered. My biggest stress is not forgetting my mask when I leave the house. Story 6. I think COVID-19 has actually been very good for me and has helped me find a better work-life balance. For the post-COVID-19 period, I hope to make some of these positive changes permanent and really focus on the important things in my life. Story 7. 2 years ago, I landed a job in a healthier environment than any other place I have worked for, and was offered $15,000 more than I was prepared to ask for during the interview. Within that time, I have paid off nearly $30,000 in student debt and will be debt-free at the end of the month. I'm in a stable home environment with a loving woman. I have enough saved away that if, heaven forbid, something were to happen to me, I could get by for about a year on savings alone. I'm seriously looking into purchasing a house next year. In short, life is a pretty sweet fruit. So why am I depressed about it? Story 8. Honestly, just awful. I was supposed to finish my master's this year, and I had a job lined up in my field. Everything was canceled, and I kind of just got down and depressed, stopped writing, and basically gave up on my thesis. I'm still trying to write and want to defend soon, but it all seems so pointless with the way the world is right now. I'm working at Starbucks now, which is a nice job, but definitely not what I saw myself doing at 27. I know I should be grateful and I should tell myself that this is just temporary. Part of me knows that the job will be there after the pandemic, but another part of me just feels so defeated. I suffered from really bad depression years ago, and it's not like it's as bad as it used to be, but I get scared sometimes because I start to hear similar thoughts and voices, and it scares me. I'm definitely due for a trip to a professional, but I hate regressing. I was supposed to already be over this. Story 9. People are still huge idiots at my job. My company is trying to make us take on 5 additional roles that we really have no business handling. But I still have a job, and we get to work from home until at least the summer of next year, possibly permanently. I still get paid every week, and all of my family and friends are still healthy and safe right now. I'm enjoying life for the most part. Story 10. Pretty bad, actually. I think I'm getting really depressed. My girlfriend lives across a border that's been closed most of the year due to COVID-19, and we haven't been able to see each other in about 280 days. I'm in university and having a lot of trouble motivating myself to get my work done. I work a part-time job that I hate, which puts me on the front line, and I constantly have to deal with people who don't wear masks properly, which causes them to lash out at me basically every single shift. I've also gained a lot of weight. It's something I've always struggled with, and right now, I'm finding it very difficult to be disciplined about my calorie intake. My mom has mental health issues and tried to kill herself this year, which is extra terrible because she was doing well and was just starting to become herself again and had gotten off all her medications. Then the pandemic hit and her husband started dying, and now she's basically just gone because of depression and the drugs she has to take to manage her mood. I'm also running out of money in general because my job pays poorly and my financial aid for school didn't cover everything. I know I'm not having the worst year of anyone out there, but 2020 has been a pretty tough one for me. I hope you all are doing okay and hanging in there. I think we're all just doing our best to get through this. Story 11. I missed the deadline for my medical school applications, partly my fault, partly due to my reference going on holiday without saying anything. I'm isolated and lonely, had multiple flings where I've just been ghosted or broken up with at the end. I've been contemplating suicide pretty seriously. I've nearly ordered nitrogen gas to kill myself multiple times, but each time resisted. I'm planning on dyeing my hair soon. For whatever reason, it helps me cope with my depression. I spoke with my doctor today, and there was a medical student from my university listening in, and I know I could have said no, but they need to learn, and I didn't want to be that patient, especially since I'm a nursing student and I've been in that position where I've been sent out multiple times. But it was still slightly humiliating to tell my doctor about my suicidal thoughts and the numerous difficult things going on in my life. With someone, there's a strong chance that they know who I am personally. I've been confiding in people lately, but each time I'm afraid I'm pushing them away, since in the past I've lost friendships and relationships by showing how I'm feeling. It's been hard. I don't really feel like living anymore. Anyway, sorry for the rant and long comment. Story 12. I am a teacher and coach. Super overwhelmed. In a normal year, I usually feel the mental fatigue set in around March. It set in towards the end of September. With so many rules and regulations we have to follow with in-person learning, it just gets to be a lot. I know that I am not following all COVID-19 protocols correctly, but it is just so much to handle, as well as trying to teach my kids and manage the classroom. I do not want to become a news story of how my classroom was a hotspot. I feel terrible because I know I am not giving the most of myself to my students. At the same time, I feel weak-minded and guilty feeling this way. I do not know if that makes sense. It is just hard. Post-COVID-19 goals. Take advantage of summers off and travel. Story 13. Work yesterday was the worst. Today is the best. It's a roller coaster. Just gotta hang on at times. Life is going all right. I really wish I had a nice romantic relationship, but I can't really complain. Story 14. Pretty good, actually. Mostly bored because it's getting too cold and too dark soon to go outside much anymore and enjoy nature, especially with the looming daylight savings time switch coming. Seriously, forget daylight savings. Just keep it the same year-round. Story 15. Not great. I got injured at work before COVID-19 blew up. The worst of it has healed, but I'm still in a lot of pain, unable to return to my original job. I've been doing a placement for a while to help with my rehabilitation, but recently the insurance company dropped my coverage, so now I have a legal battle. Lawyers were just expecting a settlement as the case is pretty open and shut, and my injuries were severe. I'm very lucky to be alive. I've been really stressed and sought out counseling though, as I was starting to suffer from insomnia. Things are starting to look up though. Counseling has helped a bit, and I have a wonderful fiancé who's helped me so much with everything going on. Story 16. Doing okay, but my car is at the dealer waiting on a part with no estimated time of arrival on getting it yet. So I've been stuck completely at home the past 2 weeks. I've just been playing Monster Hunter, going for jogs, and walking to the taco place a couple of blocks away. Story 17. Work has been stressful, but I'm really grateful to still be employed as a lot of people are suffering right now. To alleviate stress, I sleep, which I admit isn't great. Honestly, I'm concerned that post-COVID won't be a thing. People are being reinfected, and vaccines are either being halted or pushed out to an unknown date. I fear this is going to be life for a very long time, and based on that, I haven't really thought about any future plans. Pretty grim. 2020 has made me very spiteful about the world we live in. Story 18. The country's poor handling of the pandemic has gone on so long that my savings are dwindling. So I've been job hunting. Unemployment is doing everything it can to not give me money each week, so I'm currently under review to be reproved for enough money to just be able to afford groceries. It won't even really help with bills, and I'm slowly coming to terms with the fact that I'm going to have to expose myself to this situation again. My roommate bought food for me the other night because I was out with a couple of them, and they wanted fast food, but I was trying to save money. I accepted it because I knew he was trying to be nice, but it took a lot of convincing on his part, and I felt pretty worthless after. I know it isn't a bad thing to have people who care about you, but I hate having to be helped financially in any way. The worst part is that I haven't been home to see my family in a year and a half, so I had intended to take the week of Christmas to visit them. But if I need to get a job and I allow any potential employers to know that I'm going to be gone for a week, especially a week that is pretty much considered mandatory by every place in this area, then they likely won't hire me no matter the excuse I give. So I either have to avoid seeing my family again for probably another year, or I have to somehow survive being jobless till the end of the year. I really hate money. It only causes me stress. Story 19, pretty good, actually. I had been working on opening a business for 3 years, and it finally opened in June. As it turned out, the business really synergized with COVID, and business has been booming. I haven't really mentioned it to many people because it's hard to be excited when everyone else is struggling. Story 20, kind of all work and no life. I'm working on a ship going around the Pacific. I have not set foot on dry land for at least 3 months. I'm holding up pretty well given the circumstances. I've been fortunate enough to kind of just work and stick my head in the sand. I don't watch TV or the news, buying entirely too many digital movies. I'd really like to go back to working on sailboats or buy a little one of my own, as most of those jobs deal with passengers, so they dried up. I was planning on visiting the United Kingdom before all of this hit, though I think it's going to be a while. Story 21. Actually achieved a long-term goal that the COVID-19 pandemic freed up my time for. I started my YouTube channel. I'm still trying to get enough recognition to post it to the relevant subreddit. Story 22. Realized I do not have any friends, only people who ask for favors and help. That my family, immediate or not, does not really care all that much if I am around unless they need me for something. I am just completely isolated, alone, and I just kind of accept it now. Story 23. I work in the oil and lubricants industry. COVID-19 never really affected us. I still work 50 hours per week. I got a promotion and raise in January. I married the love of my life on Valentine's Day, and just found out today we are pregnant for the first time. I'm super stoked about this. I'm staying healthy, working out daily, and meal prepping. 2020 has honestly been the best year of my life. Story 24. Just going with the flow as it is currently impossible to make any concrete plans. My current goal is to use this time to develop some new habits such as reading and journaling. Positive that good things are just around the corner. Sending good vibes to everyone here. Story 25. Work is okay. Life less so. My wife has pretty serious depression and lately has been falling deeper into it. We've talked about it, and what's best for her is to probably leave her job. That means I go back to being the breadwinner like I was while she was in school for her master's degree, and we were barely making rent. Now I feel like I have to stay at this job I was hoping to leave in the near future, just so we have a place to live. I feel like I can't say this to her because I don't want to stress her out even more. Thank you, strangers on Reddit. Story 26. I feel like work is ruining me. It's a well-paying job, but most days, I remotely work 10 to 12 anxiety-inducing hours. It falls into the soul-sucking category, and I feel like a shell of who I want to be. I also have no in-person social interaction during the week. It has become incredibly draining mentally, and it's starting to give me physical repercussions, such as heart palpitations. I'm pretty concerned that I'm going to fall apart soon. Story 27. I'm not doing great, unfortunately. I just started a new job yesterday with 3 to 4 weeks of training after being unemployed for the past 3 years. and I'm already struggling due to the group I'm with being more talkative and interactive than I expected. Luckily, I seem to be able to have a bit of a chat with a few of them, but there's one particular girl I'm sitting right next to who, for whatever reason, seems to be happy to talk to anyone except me. Story 28. I just came to the realization that every single career choice I've ever made for the last 8 years was the wrong decision. And now I don't even have the possibility to have dreams anymore. But I've managed to do 100 push-ups a day for a month now.